And welcome to the Pat White Show, folks, for a special public affairs announcement. My job is to help you, drive and drive safely this year, because something's going to be happening on the roads of Indiana that you need to know about. Now, if you're someone who drives on the interstates, whether it's 69, 65, 70, or any of the numerous interstates that occupy the state of Indiana, because we are the crossroads of the United States, there's something new that's going to be happening, that could be happening even today as we speak, involving you and your car and the speed that you're driving at. Many, many years ago, you used to see signs posted on the interstate that says, "Caution, airlines or airplanes checking your speed. Speed checked by airplanes." And you would suddenly say, "It's an airplane." So you get out and check your car, look, see an airplane somewhere you're driving down the road, right? Well, because you thought, if I see an airplane, they might be clocking my speed. And that's the way they used to do it with the state police back in the old days. What happened was, guy in the plane, he'd look down, and if you drove over a particular stripe on the road, painted stripe, and he would basically mark the time from one stripe to the next stripe that you drove to. And then he would look and say, you took X many seconds to drive in this lane, and he'd run down a chart and say, then you were going at X speed. And they would get your license plate, and they would send you a ticket. So you would get charged a ticket from the flying police. Well, it turns out they don't do that anymore because it became very, very expensive. Airplanes are expensive to run. The maintenance on them is a whole lot of money. And the cost of putting someone up in an airplane, especially if it's just an officer and a pilot, it's going to cost you more money to do this. And the money they were making was far exceeded by the money they were spending to do this. Well, that was the old days, folks. Something new has happened now. And I'm running this as a note of caution to all of you driving, because there may be soon something watching you. You see, in today's world, we don't necessarily have to use airplanes anymore to check anything. Check your speed, check whatever you're doing. Police departments and police agencies around the United States, and even here in Fort Wayne, utilize drones. Well, this is the latest thing the state police have come up with, drones to measure your speed. And the thing about the new drones today, they're better than the old drones of years ago, because the new drones have a camera on them. And that camera is so precise, it can read the headlines of a newspaper if you're reading it in your car. It can also read your license plate, and could also map your speed and say, here's exactly how this person is, how fast they're going. And they can do that on any interstate, whether it's 70, 65, 69, 80, whatever. But it isn't just interstates, folks. Any road they go on, that you travel on, they can have a drone sitting there flying in the air that you don't even see or notice, because you don't really notice drones are so small. But these drones are flying around, look at your car, see exactly what you're doing, clock your car, and give you a license plate, bingo. You get the note through the mail, said, here's your car, here's a picture of it, here's what speed you were traveling on what road at what time. Now you're going to say, wait a minute, what to deal with the accuser? Well, that's already pretty well been litigated. You can try it if you want, but it's pretty well been litigated because of the drone sees it, drone records it, the drone has the numbers. Chances are the courts are going to side with the police department. So the warning is this. If you think you're driving along 70, it's a flat road and nobody's there, there's no police in your Waze that tells you where the police are. Doesn't show any police. I'm going to speed up to 85, 90 miles an hour on Highway 70 or whatever highway you're driving on. You might want to think about it, because now a drone can be sitting there watching you and watching you drive, clocking your speed, sending it back to the patrol cars. Bingo, goes into the system, and suddenly you get a letter and a picture. Here you are, moseying along this particular road at this particular mile marker, doing this particular speed. Send in your money. That's what this is all about, folks. So keep in mind, drone technology is here, and now it's being used by the state police to clock your speed on whatever road you happen to be driving, or you think you're alone, but you're not, because a drone is watching. And now you know.